Here's a question that talks about solving a triangle. When I plugged into the information that I'm given, I notice that I don't have a side and its angle. If I have a side and its angle, I'm using the law of sines. If I don't have that, I'm stuck using the law of cosines, or I get to use the law of cosines. Um, Now, the law of cosines comes in lots of different varieties. There's the a squared one, or a b squared, or a c squared. I think I've chosen the right one here. And an easy way to determine whether you've got the right equation is if you know everything except for one variable. So in this question here, a, oh, I don't know that one. B, yeah, I know what B is. C, yeah, I know C. B and C again, know those. And A, I know the angle. So I have a formula here where I know all variables except for one of them. So if I do, I can solve. So let's try it. So I've got a squared, don't know that, equals b squared plus c squared. Well, that should be a minus. That's a minus. Minus 2 times b times c times the cos of a. Okay, so now let's plug our stuff in. So b is 12, and c is 24, and b, well, that's 12 again, and 24, and then my angle is 30. Okay, so now I just have to do that on my calculator. If you have a graphing calculator, one of those, you can just probably type that whole thing in. If you don't, you might want to do things in portions, do this part, then do this whole part, and then put them all together. Um, Whichever works for you. Okay, so I've got 12 squared plus 24 squared minus 2 times 12 times 24 times the cosine of 30. Go. Oh, well, that's interesting. Go. All right, there. So I get 221. So with all that stuff together, I get 221.17, we'll call it. And that's what a squared is equal to. So now I have to take the square root of that. So where's my square root button? There it is. Square root of that last number equals, well, I get 14, about 14.9. So a is equal to 14.9. I guess I properly should put a plus or minus there, but since I'm dealing with a distance, it's just going to be the positive value. So a comes out to being 14.9. Now the question says solve the triangle, so I also need to figure out the other two angles that I don't have. Since I have a side and its angle now, I'm probably just going to use the law of sines. So let's try that. So law of sines, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out angle B. Okay, so angle B is what I'll try and figure out. So I need to use B over sine B. And then I know A and angle A, so I'll use that one too. A over sine A. Okay, so B is 12 over sine of B, oh, I don't know that, equals A, I just figured it to be 14.9, over sine of 30. Okay, now I'm just going to carry this on over up here. So to solve for sine B, I can use ratio and proportion. So it'd be sine B is equal to 12 times the sine of 30 divided by 14.9. So I'll get sine of B to be equal to, okay, divide 14.9, 0.402. So sine B is equal to 0.40268, etc. I like to carry a couple more decimal places with sine, just so my angles are a little bit more accurate. Now to figure out B, I need to take the arc sine of that number I just got. So sine to the minus 1, or arc sine, at 0.04268. Okay, so arc sine, that'll be this button of that bracket. Go. 23.7-ish. Okay, so angle B is 23.7 degrees. So up here, 23.7 degrees. Now I need to find angle C, and to do that, all three angles have to add up to 180, so I can go 180 minus 30 minus the 23.7, and it comes out to 126.3. 126.3 degrees. So there I've solved my triangle. I know all the sides, know all the angles. In this one, I actually used the law of cosines to help me first determine a side, and then I use the law of sines to help me figure out the other angles. Okay, hopefully that helps you with the law of cosines.